Hello, and everyone. Welcome to the show. I know I just scheduled it the last moment, so I don't expect everyone to be aware unless your notifications are on and you're following me. You're probably not aware about this show. But either way, I did want to come on today, Wednesdays, why you don't have a contract, and interview a couple of people, take some questions from the audience. For those of you who are following me, I definitely want to take some questions from the audience and let's discuss, right? Um, do you have a contract? Why you don't have a contract? Let's figure out what it takes. Let's answer some of your questions out here. I've got my notepad ready to talk to people in the audience. I'm going to share this live stream code, and we're looking forward to connecting with some folks out here today. So, unfortunately, I didn't plan for this. I did want to come on, but some of my meetings ran late. So let's just have some fun, and we'll make it a great learning session for those of you who are coming on late. And so for the people that are watching this at home and watching it on replay, then you'll just catch it on replay. So today, what I want to do is I want to pull some people up to the stage and let them ask me whatever questions they want. So this is going to be audience participation, and we want to encourage folks to come up today. And let me get the invite code. All right, here's the invite code. And we want some folks to come up today and be able to ask me questions live. Anything that you want about government contracts, obviously not about my personal life, even though that might be a little bit more interesting. So as always, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to Wednesdays, Why You Don't Have a Contract, with your host, Eric Coffie of GovCon Giants. We've been slowly but surely building out our catalog of content. And again, if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that. If you're new here, first thing that we always like to do is introduce ourselves. And so if you could, tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us your company, what is it that you do, and the city that you serve or the city that you rep. Either way works for me. Um, by the way, Charles, we owe you a meeting. We're working on our deck. We're finalizing our deck for folks. So we'll get you that soon. My man, Charles, aloha from Maui. CNC Tech, selling to state and city government, permanent road repair solutions, and dust mitigation. Charles knows the deal. Someone said they can't hear me. Oh, that's not good. Okay, Mike. Okay, my mic's working. Internal microphone, speaker. All right, Mike, turn the mic up, Okay, now. All right, how about now? Okay, I just turned my mic up. I turned off auto echoing, and I turned off automatic adjusting. So this should work. But thank you, Fazina, for helping out. All right, loud and clear. Good stuff. Charles, the deck for your brother's NHO. All right, so who do we have in the building? Charles told us who we are. And again, today, I'm looking for volunteers to come up here with me and ask their government contracting questions. That's what we're looking for today. All right, good. Sounds good. Perfect. So we're going to invite some people up to come up here and ask their questions. Charles has been up here before. He saw himself on a reel. I think, Charles, you saw yourself on a reel. So I'm going to invite some people to come up today and ask their government contracting question. Who else? Who do we have in here? Tell us about your company. Let me put you up on the screen. A to Z Innovation Solutions, Logistics. What do you recommend for a company? That's just basically me. All right. So we want people to come up. We want to encourage participation. But also, again, while we're waiting for some more folks to come on, go ahead and tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. And let's have a conversation today. All right. Tell us your city. Look, if you're afraid to tell us what you do, at least you could tell us where you're from. Like, tell me about your background. Where do you, maybe you worked at Meta and you got laid off. Maybe, you're one of those 11,000 people that, Zoom laid off a bunch of people. Meta laid off a bunch of people. What do you guys think about that? Crazy, huh? It's pretty wild. Uh-oh, we got our first guest coming up, baby. Let's get to it. All right. Keven.
How's
How's
it
it
going,
going,
Eric?
Eric?
Let's go. Man, look, we got our matching shirts.
That's
That's
cool.
cool.
Look at that, man. Look at
How you
that.
How you
doing,
doing
Eric?
today, man?
I'm doing great, brother. How about yourself?
Oh,
Oh, I'm good.
I
I
can't
can't
complain.
complain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you calling from?
I'm
I'm
in
in
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Okay. All right. It seems like you're in a truck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in the
semi.
semi 18 footer.
I love all the truckers be calling from inside trucks, man.
Hold on, I had to turn it down a little bit.
That's all right. Yeah.
But the question I had was about like transportation
Sure.
in the government
Space.
space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we get that all the time about transportation, right? In the
Mhm.
space. And so again, we did make the video that I made with Chris. We talked about two different examples, right?
Mhm.
So there's some people, because transportation is such a big industry,
It is.
right?
It is.
Like people say transportation is like when people say construction. Well, construction is like, okay, tenant improvement, design builds, fit outs,
Mhm.
vertical, horizontal, underground, demolition, so when people say transportation, I hear various different things. So we had a student of ours that he registered for like a lane with Crowley because that's what he could support.
Mhm.
And then we've had students that won contracts with FEMA because they were able to essentially broker trucks and get groups of them collectively to pursue the opportunities. But the FEMA thing was really fast, and like you
Mhm.
had to like essentially mobilize, let's say 60 trucks to be at a certain place at a certain time to go, a certain distance. So we've had people do contracts like that. I've have someone that does logistics for moving stuff basically on site between let's say a research laboratory and where the warehouses are, right? That's
Okay.
also
Okay.
transportation.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to say, like, I mean, there's so much, right? There's so many different ways that a person could go. I guess we need to be more specific.
So,
So,
dude,
what do you think? GSA or USDOT?
So,
Is the
GSA is a huge agency. They buy a lot of things. And so GSA, I always say, I start with my market research. And so for me, when people say GSA, that's because GSA is just like this big name, like DOD that everybody knows,
Mhm.
not necessarily that GSA is issuing the contracts that you want or need.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So for the most part, and I literally had a consultation with a transportation young lady today.
Okay.
I literally did. She's one of my students, and she said, Eric, she wanted to go to a conference, and she goes, well, what do you recommend? And I said, well, is there anybody at that conference that when you look up who's buying the type of transportation that you want to deliver, is there any of those names going to be at the conference?
Okay.
Right. And so I'll give you an example real quick. Hold on. I'll give you a really easy example. Do you know your NACS code?
Oh man, I can't think of it off my
All
head,
right.
But
but I
Listen,
know it's like
everybody, I'm
general.
telling you now, you better listen. If your NACS code, you have to be able to spit that thing out.
Remember it, right?
Like you
right.
can't. If you're sitting down with somebody, and again, this is a test run, but if you're sitting down with someone and we're like, what's your NACS code so I can help you, and you don't know the code.
It's
It's
like,
like yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
All right, so someone gave me this code, 484. All right, so let me, hold on.
I'm
Let me tell you something too about one of your students.
Okay.
But
All
I'll
right,
let
hold
you know
on.
once you
Let's
finish.
get through this real quick.
Cool.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. All right, so Samo, you said 484. All right. All right, so 484230. All right, I put in that code. All right, so for example, so here's that code. And you can see here who's buying it: Army, Air Force, U.S. Transcom, DLA, DEA, Navy. But So that's at the high levels. When you get down to the granular level, and let me make this bigger for folks. Within the Army, this is the office 0408 AQHQ contract. So even within so this is Forest Services, but the contract office is Regional Office R1, right? And so the same thing. You could go through here like this one. This is the Army. This is WCQK. This is the name of the actual office. So you have to find out this office, who they are, and then those are the people that you want to target.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean that's like, and again, that's based on the information that this person put on the screen.
Okay.
So I mean that was like a 2-minute search.
Right.
You know, so you don't have to guess if it's GSA.
Okay.
You don't have to like guess if it's FEMA, right? You don't have to guess. So because again, I get it. Like people like to lump transportation in one big category, but the government is really very specific about how they do things. So you've got to know, and I've given some examples back in the past, like exactly what is it that you want to do. What I find the biggest thing, Kevin, to be honest with you, for most people, is they don't know what they want to do.
Right.
That's actually a bigger issue.
So
let me say this.
Go ahead.
Today I talked with Ashley Spur.
Oh, did you talk to Ashley? Okay.
Yeah, I talked with her today, and me and her was having the same conversation.
Yeah. And she kind of was like, because I told her we wanted to do the transportation, but I had another question, and I said, well, what do you think is another
good area? Good.
Yeah. And she was like, no. What you're good at, stick to it. So.
And that's what happens with most people. I'll be honest with you. Most of us are trying to like chase different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in the government space, if you do that, you really get it's to your detriment.
Yeah.
There's no advantage of taking like a slingshot approach or throwing out a big spider web. It's not. It's definitely to your detriment. It's not in your favor.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. So that's it. Like that was. I mean, that's like, I mean, and really for most people out here, and again, I like to say this all the time, this is not rocket science. It really is coming down to the fundamentals and the basics, understanding who your customers are, understanding what they buy, and they really do want to help us. I'm telling you, they want to help people that are capable and qualified. And so that's been my experiences, and I continue to spread that message.
Great. Hey, well, man, I appreciate you for everything that you do. The last live I was on, I met Jerome.
Okay.
He's one of your students. And me and him has been talking back and forth.
That's what it takes, right? So that's why I'm telling everybody, like, you see, by the way, everybody listening to this, he's already engaged with Ashley from Elevator. He's engaged with one of our students. So if you come on these things, don't just sit here and like sit in the background. Jump in, engage with other people. So there are people out here looking for partnerships. I just got off the phone with one of my partners, and we're putting together deals with a large business. And so this is a small guy, and he's got 10 million bonds, and I'm bringing a large business to the table with 100 million bonding. And so we're talking about, bidding a $20, $30 million project next week. So the more you start engaging with people, you're doing the right things. You're doing the right things. The only thing
I'm from Florida too, man.
Huh?
I'm from Florida
too,
Florida?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Nice. Where in Florida?
City called Fort Pierce.
Fort Pierce. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Fort Pierce.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I used to live in Clewiston.
Oh,
okay. Cool.
So yeah. But no, yeah. Fort Pierce got hit with the hurricane.
Yeah, we got hit real bad.
Yeah, you got hit with the hurricane. So yeah, man.
But man, I'm gonna let you finish.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for everything.
Hey,
man.
I appreciate you coming up.
Hopefully to meet you one day.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. We're gonna have, like I said, stay tuned. In October, we should have our first conference. So look out for that.
Great.
All All right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
man.
Have a good one, man.
Be good. Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Boom. We got our first person came up tonight. I love it. Well, Kevin's gone, but thank you for the feedback on the reverberation of his mic. Yes, let's talk about what challenges you're having. Let's see who we have out here. We got Chris Page Moore, Integrity LED from San Antonio, Texas. Ship commercial and industrial LED lighting. We install as well. Good stuff, my man Chris. All right, Danny with Synergy Core Transport, authorized motor carrier out of Orlando, Florida. Great stuff. He said, I'm a truck driver, smiling face, apparel industry. All right, Detroit. Let's see, Mandua, Midas Group, consulting medical device, looking to provide CMMC level 1 services. All right, who else? All right, Patel, Nikie Corporation, Michigan, general contractor. I love it. I love general contractors. That's my jazz. Where did she say she's out of? Oh, Michigan. Oh, yeah. Oh, Michigan is, there's a lot of opportunities up there. L Boogie, I'm new to GovCon and sell shipping containers to the federal government located in DC. Nice. So did you see the one that we discussed it was 2 days ago about shipping containers? All right. DACA, Educational Solutions, create training programs for K through 12 schools and training programs for different public and private organizations. Good. So tonight we are inviting people to come up here, right? So I'm inviting people to come up here. Let's talk about things that you've been working on, and let's see how we can help you today. All right, I'm dropping it in there. I'm dropping in the chat. We are inviting people to come up and ask questions. So that's what we're doing tonight. Why you don't have a contract? Let's ask questions and see how we can help you. Come on up. No, you do not have to be a minority for this. Daniel Burgess, Multiyline Solutions, labeling, packaging, process automation, Brentwood, Tennessee. Love it. All right, who's coming up? I'm waiting. Hey, I'm waiting. I came on just for this, by the way. I came on just for this because I wanted to come on Wednesdays. I had a theme. They said, who's in the healthcare staffing industry? You know, we put up a nursing staffing contract on a source of SOT for Zena. I think that was Monday. Did you see that? Okay, El Boogie said he saw the source. Okay, El Boogie saw the source of SOT. All right. Annette saying, how do I get my children's products in front of the government? Annette, come up. We got to have a dialogue. Like, that's not a straightforward answer. Annette shy. That's okay. Hey, I was shy at first too before I started doing this. 29 people watching, hit the like button. Waiting to come up. There's a link that I dropped in here. Can you not see the link? Let me show the link. Here's the link. That's the link right there. I dropped it in the chat, but I'm not sure if you can see it in your chat on LinkedIn. That's the link though right there. If you put that link in your computer, it will bring you back here. Could someone on LinkedIn copy that link or someone? Ah, yes, Fazina, on my live on Monday, we went through and looked at source of SOTs, and there was one for staffing of nurses. Ah, okay, maybe you missed it. Yeah, but you could pull, you can go back in and watch it. Yeah, but you can go back in and pull down that list. It was definitely there. That's the link to come up. All right, I'm waiting for someone to come up. I'm waiting. Someone says, Eric, where can I start to accumulate cash the fastest? That's a hard question. I mean, to be honest with you, you know, in this particular realm, and I know I know it's hard to believe, and I didn't believe this before, but oh, LinkedIn can't see what I'm posting in the comments. Fudge. I'm not sure how to do that. All right, sorry, Facina. I think that StreamYard and LinkedIn are fighting, so they're not doing it. So where can you start accumulating the fastest? It's funny that I just had a meeting with the Department of Energy, and they actually give out more grants than contracts. But in my opinion, right, people. So I just this week coming up on my podcast, we interviewed one of my students, and she got paid to do market research for government contracts. So she literally, someone paid her to do the same stuff that I teach you for free. So if you wanted to accumulate cash the fastest in this marketplace, you could resell the information, research information that you go on, you learn how to use these websites, and then you help people and they pay you to actually do the research. I know a woman that is, they're paying her to help small businesses like do SAM registrations. So people get paid to do anything related to this stuff. Let me see what she told me exactly. She was getting paid to do, let me see, where was it at? It was like $5,000 or something. So there's people out here looking that have more money than time. And so there's people out here that will pay you to do market research for government contracts. That's how, in this space, how I would say accumulate the fastest. All right. Yeah, you can't see my LinkedIn. Sorry. No, I'm not doing SBA profiles today. We're going to save it for another day. But is your SBA profile ready? Is it ready? All right. I see Stephanie's in the back. How do I? Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, one second, Stephanie. I'm going to go over to LinkedIn, and I'm going to copy this invite. I hope I don't mess up something on my system. I'm going to jump on LinkedIn, and I'm going to try to paste this in LinkedIn. Okay, let me see how it works. If I can go to my stuff and see where I'm live. Okay, it says I'm live on my system. I'm going to jump on LinkedIn, and I'm going to try to paste this in LinkedIn. Okay. Bomb. There it is. All right. So I just dropped it in the LinkedIn chat. All right. So all the LinkedIn people have it now. All right. Let's bring up some people. Stephanie. What's up?
Hi.
Hold on.
Oh, I have some feedback.
I need to get some water.
Okay.
I don't know water around me. Okay. All right. Go ahead. What's up?
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. I hear feedback on my end. Do you hear that?
Yes.
Is
You
that
need to turn me down on
I need
the.
to turn you down? Because I only have you on one device.
Just turn me down.
Just turn you down. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Let me get. You know what? I need some water.
Okay. I can wait.
All right. I'll wait. I'm gonna put you up with Annette. How's that?
Okay. Hi, Annette.
Hi.
Okay.
How are you?
When you're on, I don't hear any feedback on my end. When Eric was on, I heard some feedback, but okay.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Is mine fine?
Yeah. You sound fine.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah. Are you new to this too?
New-ish. I've been in Eric's course for about 2 years, but I still feel very new. Still, excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, but still a lot to learn and figuring out this maze of government contracting. How about you?
Very new.
Very new. Okay.
My thing is, I don't want. There's a lot of things that the government offers.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want them to notice me and the products that my children's products that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eric, we can't hear you.
I said Annette wants to take a new product to the market. So
Oh.
she's in a different situation. So, yeah. But so let's get we'll talk to your stuff, Stephanie.
Okay.
And then we'll jump onto Annette.
That I have is the strategy doing now is after prompt first because I have target.
Your sound's going in and out.
I know.
And your internet, it's like not cooperating with us tonight.
Okay, let me get off, and I'm gonna try to come back on my laptop. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Okay. I'll talk to Annette. All right, Annette, you made it.
I made it.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. So now you have a new product that you want to take to the government.
I do.
Okay. Now, what makes you believe that they want this product?
Well, see, I got the feedback.
Let me turn mine down. Okay.
Still feedback.
Yeah.
But there are children all over the world. Literacy is very important. So I have products that centers around reading and being ready. So that's always going to be something that's needed, especially with the new generation of children that's coming up. So, hospitals, schools, mom and pop stores, all around, it's literacy. It's important. It's needed.
So you're just saying that you believe it's needed. So that's why you want to push it to them.
Well, yeah, that's my answer for now. Or you could give me a new one.
Again, that's why I said for you to come up specifically so we can have a conversation, right? And not like, thank you. I put the echo cancellation back on. Just anyone else. Thanks for the feedback, everyone on the audio. No, so the thing about the government is, unfortunately, because they do have budgets, right, that comes from Congress and it's come down, they have money is appropriated for certain things. So there's definitely a way to take. So everybody says, what's her product? She has children's books that she wants to sell to the government. All right.
And
well, let's stick with children's one thing. Let's do one thing for now. Right. So let's just stick with, because we'll talk about children's books. So what happens is when the government makes all these appropriations for monies, they are determining where those monies are going towards. Right. So they already have like destinations of where this money should flow. And they have like objectives for what they want to see done with the money. So then for me, what I would recommend is find out how your children's books can help them accomplish one of their objectives. So sometimes, like you said, we've seen projects where, for example, I've got a buddy of mine right now. He's got a contract in Puerto Rico, and his contract in Puerto Rico is to help provide literacy and education to like women in shelters. But I think that's more along like hygienes and sexual education and things like that. Like, right. Things that I guess, just education on women in general about proper hygiene and contraceptives and things like that. So for you, what you want to do is find a way that you can tie into solving a issue that doesn't necessarily, where they're not necessarily calling out children's books, but where like that is the solution. And so what I would do was I would look for, let me go up and pull it up. Share my screen a little bit. Let me just log in to Sam.
Yeah, there's another link where you could see where the government have bought products. Like I can put in my next code and see where the government have bought children's toys, children's books.
Sure.
So that raised my eyebrow a little, like, how did they do that?
And so now that's a different question, right? Because you said you want to take your books to the government, right? Now, if you want to sell them books that they're asking for, that's not the same thing. You see the difference? Like the government may be trying to buy children's books, but they have a specific brand, they have a specific name. It's kind of like here in Florida, we're banning books. So you can't just sell a banned book to Florida because they're not buying it. That's different than taking your specific books to the government. So what you're doing is you're trying to introduce a new product to the government. If you want to just look at what they're selling, then they're telling you specifically what kind of content they want in their children's books, but that's not your books. So that's not the same thing. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now if you want to do that, then yeah, of course, you could just look and see what children's books the government wants to buy, and then you can provide them with the books that they are requesting. But your question to me was, how do I take my specific books to them?
Right. Yeah. That's
different.
My specific product.
Because the government's not requesting your books.
Right.
Right. So that's not the same thing. All right. So now let's talk about what they are looking for. So now, one of the things that we teach, there's a couple of things that you could do. One is you can do unsolicited proposals, which is hard, not impossible, but it's hard. And so you could do unsolicited proposal to the government. But in order to do that, you would have to know like a need that they have. The other thing is there are several opportunities that the government has. One is called OTA, Other Transaction Authority. One is called CSO, Commercial Solutions Offering. And then there's a BAA, which is a Broad Agency Announcement. These are on sam.gov, and you can look them up, type them in. Let me see if I can put this up here. Right. So you can literally type in OTA. You can type in CSO, right? You can type in these words, and the government, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. Contract opportunities. All right. So if you type in CSO, you'll see here, it's called Commercial Solutions Openings, right? And so these CSOs, OTAs, BAAs, so what you'll see here are these are a type of contracts that the government is looking for solutions. And so they don't tell you what the solution is. So your children's book might just be a solution to solve one of their issues. So what they're saying is the government's saying, hey, we have this problem and we need a solution to this problem. So now what you're doing is you're going, okay, let's say your books, like you said, let's just say, for example, because I don't know, someone asked the context of your books. I don't know them. But let's say your books were children's book that taught English literacy to ESOL students, Spanish students, right? And the government put out a requirement saying we're looking for books that talk to kids, K through 5, English literacy for ESOL students. Then you could offer your books as a solution. So in your case, because you're taking a new product to the government, you have to look at where they're expressing the needs for this, and then you can offer your stuff as a solution. So they're not necessarily going to say like your book. They're just going to say we need a book that solves this, and then you can offer your book as a solution.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the 3 places that I would recommend. Right?
Do I do the same thing with toys?
You do the same thing with anything that you're trying to take new to the government.
Okay.
Anything that you're trying to take new, you have to solve a need, because the government's only funding needs. They don't fund ideas. That's what the private sector does. So they give you grants for ideas, but again, the ideas that they fund grants to are still to try to provide solutions to solve, issues that we have in the government. So like we want climate change. So if your toys solve like climate change issues, then they would give you a grant to prevent your toys to the government. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's how we work. So it's just not like, hey, come buy my books because we want books. It's more like we have a need to provide education to all the kids in Michigan, and we don't have a book that talks on these subjects. Oh, my book addresses these subjects. That's what they do. So I would look there in those 3 places, and then I would look on the grants.gov site and see if they're requesting any grant applications for providing new type of educational materials to students.
Grants.gov. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a tedious site.
All of it. You really think you're just gonna walk in there and give somebody your stuff and say, "Yeah, I'll buy it. Here's $10." Is that what y'all think?
Oh boy,
That's what y'all think. See, that's why we have Wednesdays. Why you don't have a contract? Because people think, "Oh, I'm gonna call one person." They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, we want all your books," and then sell them.
Don't work that way. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy. No, it's not that easy, unfortunately. But we do have. I will share this link with everybody because someone just asked me about it. So we do have here. I'll share the link for everyone looking at it. But yes, so all the things that I've mentioned are right here: OTA, CSOs, and BAAs. All right. So I address this for IT companies because a lot of times IT companies don't have they're looking at like smaller people or trying to solve problems. So I do recommend this but again, we do have a video about how to take a new product to market. But these are some places where you can start doing some research. There are some more high level things you could do, but they're complex. So I'd start here. You got homework. I'm going to give y'all homework, just so you know. I'm giving everybody homework.
That was GovCon Giants.
I just put the link in there.
I don't see what I'm looking. I'm in the StreamYard link, so I can't see anything.
Oh, well, that's okay. When you come back down to the audience, you'll be able to see it. But the link is inside of your StreamYard. It's inside your chat. Here, you want me to send it to you?
I guess I have to. Do I have to log in?
No, you're watching. Aren't you watching us online?
I'm watching, yeah, on my computer, but I'm straight on StreamYard, but I don't see anything.
Okay. Well, when you get back down to the audience, you should see the link.
Oh, wait a minute. I was on comments. I mean, private chat.
That's it. The media chat, but she put it in. There you go. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for coming up. Let me go solve somebody else's issues today. I'm happy we got a chance to mate because you kept messaging. Like, come on up and talk, because obviously I can't type all that stuff as you see. Like that's why I was like, look, come up and let's just have a conversation. All right,
that's
love.
better. Bye.
Take care. Have a good night. All right. All right, you're back now.
I'm back. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you for let me come back on. So Eric, you know me. And,
I know you very well. And I know your husband. Don't ask me.
My husband. Yes.
You my husband.
So anyway, Eric, so like the last caller said, I think a lot of times what people have issue with is government is so big and they buy so much, kind of narrowing what you want to do, because you can get like the shiny object syndrome. Exactly. And this makes money, this makes money, this makes money. So anyway, so we really had to like narrow ourselves down a little bit. Yep. So I have a couple questions. So my target that I want to do, I'm really going after the HHS space, CDC, NIH, CMS, all that stuff. Yep. So my strategy is, because obviously I'm not in that space, is to target primes and small primes to be a sub. Yep. So I want to make sure when I'm targeting them, I have an effective strategy, and I'm having meaningful conversation. So how do I find out what issues they're having so that way, or how I can fit in to become a sub and help solve their problems.
Have you
Because
looked
I don't
have you
know.
looked at GAO reports?
Yes, I have. And
Yeah.
so I don't
That'll
know
be
if I
that's
should be looking at the issues that agency is having.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, or as opposed to, have you found anything on there for HHS? I'm sure you have something on there for HHS.
Because I think the GAO, I've looked at, I might be getting confused. I looked at strategy reports. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. I looked at strategy reports. I looked at budgets that have come out. And I believe I looked at the GAO reports. And I think the GAO report, doesn't it talk about where they're lacking, that industry is lacking?
Yeah, and where they've done, they haven't done things correctly.
Okay,
Let's see.
that's right. Yes, I did look at that.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you see anything in here that stood out?
I don't remember, but I'm gonna go back and take a look. I did look at it, but I don't remember anything that stood out. I'm sure
Yeah.
it does, because what I'm offering is marketing communication and around health
Oh,
and all that stuff. So of course they have issues with that, especially
HHS DLD look, transition vaccine responsibilities to HHS, but need to address outstanding issues.
Yep.
Let's see. Hold on. Operation Warp Speed. Let's see.
Hold on, Eric. I'll be right back.
All right. All right. While she's so for everyone who's not familiar, GAO essentially go and look up issues that some of the federal agencies are making missteps, and so this government accountability offices, and literally you can go on here and find areas where they're recommending that the government or that particular agency can make improvements. And so this is a great opportunity for you to learn about, like, okay, rapid and field requirements. So look, rapid prototyping and fielding requires changes to oversight and development approaches. So they're giving you recommendations that the government's having within these agencies of how to solve these outstanding issues.
Okay.
The one I was showing Stephanie was, again, HHS. This was there's some outstanding issues here, but I didn't read the report to see what they are.
Yep.
Let's see.
Okay. So I'll go back to look
So
at
look,
that.
still finding staffing plans based on resource requested in 2023 budget. They just know that further updates. So let's see. They should develop and implement workforce strategies to address workforce needs as part of this transition. So look, they're not addressing workforce needs here. They should have some mechanism, such through interagency agreement, support and development workforce. Best practices, lessons learned from stakeholders. And by the way, Stephanie, I do have someone at HHS that actually she's a student of ours that was looking at solving some issues there as well. So we've got somebody that we can introduce you to that can help you with helping devise your strategy.
Yes, that'll be great, because because they have so many strong.
No, HHS is huge.
Yes,
HHS is huge. So you gotta get down. Like HHS to me is like saying Navy.
Right, but that's why I said I'm really focusing on the CDC, because I'm here in Atlanta and they're here in Atlanta. So I figured that would be my first stop, because they're local pretty much. And they have a ton of events where I'm able to meet a lot of the CDC officers and small business reps. But I didn't think I didn't think I was ready to prime. So I figured
No. And again, you don't have to prime, right?
Right.
So again, we look at the CDC, same thing.
But I guess
website of recent involving pathogens. I guarantee there's stuff that you can talk to folks at the CDC. If you can go to the CDC, I would just talk to them directly. I found out talking to some of the major primes at the WeBank conference.
Yeah.
They literally told me that they were falling short on some of their, and again, this is corporate companies. They were falling short on their diversity and inclusion requirements because some of their major subs were acquired by private equity firms.
Wow.
And so I literally just went up to them. I'm like, hey, can you tell me, like, what are some of the areas that you're not meeting your diversity and inclusion requirements? I just straight up asked them. And they're like, well, we need this, we need that, because a lot of their diverse vendors, as they grow larger, are being acquired by these private equity companies.
Mhm.
And so now they lose that diversity status. And so the corporation is struggling trying to fill that need. So I would imagine CDC, there's some people there that stakeholders to CDC that are aware of some of the issues that they have. You just got to, talk to them and some of those events.
Okay.
They'll tell you.
So
Like people that we know that work at some of these places tell us like some of the issues that they're having internally.
I mean, Eric, I feel like I hear that, but then it's so hard to kind of break through, right? Because
Have
then
you
it's
talked?
like,
Have you been to an event and spoken to somebody at the CDC yet?
yeah. So they had an event. I joined NCMA, and
Yep.
they had the CDC there, and they have another event where they're going to do matchmaking, and I'm hoping I can get matched.
And at the
up
first
with-
event, what happened?
Well, I spoke with, I think her name was Gwendolyn. So I spoke with her. I emailed her a few times, and I actually spoke with her. And I spoke with one of the contracting officers, and of course they wanted to know if I was on what is it? Their
Whatever, one of their vehicles.
One of their vehicles, yes. And I'm not ready to be. So then I feel like, well, maybe I can't be a prime because I'm not on their vehicle.
That's just ask you a question. That doesn't eliminate you.
Okay. Well, I guess that's what I thought.
That's what we see. We're all sabotaging ourselves in our head.
Right. Because they just made it seem like we only buy from the schedule. We only buy from the schedule. And I'm like,
let me ask you this. You know how to do your research. If you had done your research, you could have proved that otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that there were some, but it seemed like that was their preferred way. Because when I spoke with
But not when you spoke with them, when you did the research, what did the research say?
I mean, there were a lot of people who were winning that did have that schedule, but there were some that didn't either.
So what is that, 50-50? Is it 70-30?
I would say it was probably maybe 60% had the schedule, maybe 40% didn't. So it's still opportunity.
Yeah. Right. So then on the 40%, what kind of companies are on that?
They're smaller companies.
Okay. So then those are the opportunities that you want. So you want the non-scheduled opportunities. So I would talk to them about that. Say, hey, I got this list of all these, opportunities that are not on schedule. Who should I be talking to about those?
Okay. The opportunities that are
like I'm a direct person. So y'all y'all think these people are like Jesus or something. I don't know.
I mean, because when they
be like, look,
this is how I want to buy, you're like,
I know my information. So like, I don't need for everyone out here listening, the more prepared you are, the better you're going to be equipped to have conversation with these folks. Right? Because I also, to me, and I've said this to you, Stephanie, that the people that you're dealing with don't necessarily know everything. So you can't assume that like they know all the information.
Okay.
So like maybe that person is new to the agency and they just learn, like that's all they know how. And if you show them some more information, like, well, look, based on my research, only about 60% of your stuff goes to the schedule. So how do we get this other stuff?
Okay.
And I just had the same conversation with Randy today on a construction project for NAVFAC. I've got sole source contracts with NAVFAC. And I learned about it, okay, because I pulled down this forecast sheet for NAVFAC. And my friend that's coming up soon, Patel, in a minute, she wants this information. I already know it. She's in construction, but Michigan. So on this sheet, I noticed that they were giving out single award contracts, sole source to companies. And so when I met with the people, this is what I talked about. I don't go there. I don't go places empty-handed and let people just dictate to me what the conversation.
Okay.
That's the biggest difference, Stephanie, that you learn about me. I don't go places empty-handed and like, okay, tell me what you have. I'd be like, look, okay, this is the information that I see. Let's talk about this stuff. My stuff be circle. I'm like, hey, how do we talk about this?
Talk the highlighted areas. Let's talk about those.
This is what I take to my meeting. Like, hey, I want to talk about this.
Yeah. Okay.
But then they're not talking about no schedule. Like, no.
Gotcha.
So the next time you go to CDC, get your research, pull down the stuff that you want to talk about, and then say, how do we talk about that?
Okay. So Eric,
see me.
Okay, I have that piece. So my next piece is going after the primes.
Sure.
So my thought was we're not going after those big primes, right? That's probably gonna be hard to infiltrate. Those smaller primes that are winning maybe between $5 and $10 million. How do I have like a knowledgeable conversation to them?
So every prime has an SBLO. The major primes has SBLO, small business liaison officers. And for everyone, and again, this is why I like people coming on the show so we can talk about these questions. So every prime has an SBLO, which is Small Business Liaison Officer, which is the same as a small business specialist for the government, right? And for example, here, all right, most people I know, and I know y'all gonna complain, I can't listen to all your podcasts, but episode 146 right here, Susan Thibodeau is a contract small business champion. She is what's called a small business liaison officer. So she works, oh, I'm sorry, it's a little bit unclear. Okay. So she works for the major primes, and she is the equivalent of an Ostabu, but for major primes. Okay. So when you're reaching out to these primes, ask for the small business program manager, the small business liaison officer, because these primes are also required to have subcontracting plans. This is part of their process. So they have these people that are there to help you. You just have to know to ask for them. So, or if you have done your research on that prime, you might have already found this person like Susan. Go back and listen to this episode and listen to the kind of stuff that Susan's asking for from small businesses like ourselves. She tells you exactly what she's looking for. So you don't knock yourself out from the bigger companies because they do have requirements that they have to meet.
Okay. So yeah. Eric, I just want to make sure I'm clear. So when I'm asking for the SBLO, am I reaching out to that prime and asking them who their SBLO is?
Or you can look online and see if they have an SBLO, if it's somewhere public. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. I would definitely, yes, you'll be asking for the SBLO for the prime.
Gotcha. And then once I talk to them, they'll be able to kind of talk.
They'll be able to help you. Yeah. Gotcha. They'll be able to help you. They're going to help you. So, and that's for everyone's edification. The small business liaison officer is the equivalent of a small business professional, which is like what I wear on my shirt, Ostavu. They're the same thing for the agencies. They're the same thing over on the corporate side for company.
Okay. And Eric, last question. Could you do the reverse? Can you reach out to the SBLO first and then tell them what you're interested in doing, and they can say, you can say, can you recommend me to a prime that might fit what I'm doing?
Say that again.
Can you reach out to the like you find an SBLO officer and then you say, this is what my business offers. Can you connect me with a prime that may match what I'm offering that I may be able to potentially sub for?
No, I would like what Alan said, find out their mission first.
Gotcha.
You got it, because that's one thing that pisses them off is you don't know what they buy.
Gotcha. Okay, so I need to find that specific.
You need to find out their mission.
That's working with primes that are doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, because you said you're doing CDC.
Yeah.
So like I said, if you're doing CDC and then you got the primes from CDC and then you're targeting certain services, that prime, you've already done that research.
Okay.
So it doesn't really, to go and ask them what do they buy, kind of like doesn't make any sense.
Gotcha. So go to that prime and ask them who their SBL officer. That way I know that SBL officer is talking to who is buying what I'm selling.
Correct. And look what Rick Graham just did. He gave you a list of all the small business contracts over HSS, which hopefully you should have found that on your own. But thank you, Rick Graham. That's my man.
Eric, I know how to do research.
I know you do. I'm not saying what you put on there.
I know how to do research.
I said that. I didn't look. This is for everybody else watching.
Because I've just been pulling so much research. I've been putting the strategy, the budget, all this stuff. I'm trying to make it make sense.
Right.
So,
no, trust me. I've spent a lot of time on research. Like that's my life. I feel like I promise you. People don't. But that's what I do. That's what you have to do to have these competent conversations with folks.
Right. But I just feel like I have to do action now. I feel like I've done.
No, you need to do some action. Yeah.
Right. I've been bogged down in research, trying to like put all these pivot tables together and who's doing this, who's winning, and what next go. So now I feel like I have to have a strategy to actually talk to people, but I want to talk to them and have a meaningful conversation. So I want to make sure I'm kind of following the right steps.
Hey, I love it. Trust me. I'm here. That's why we're here. You know, look, I took a nap today, so I got good energy.
Eric, one of the last calls, it was last week. You was talking tough. You was telling people off. I love that. I love that, Eric.
Oh, you like that, Eric?
People off.
Yeah. You like that, Eric? Yeah. I
I
know.
love that, Eric.
I know. I have to get into that mode. Yeah, you're like
I was
Eric
like-
has a lot of stuff on his mind today.
I was like, Eric is cranky today, and he is telling folks off.
Because I'm so again.
But I loved it though.
Thank you. Good. I'm happy you loved it. I'll work on it more.
All right. Well, I'll hop off and let somebody else come up. But thank you so much, and thank you, Rick, as well. Bye.
All right. See you. Be good. Another green shirt person today.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Nice meeting you in face to face. I do listen you as soon as I see you live. But so I'm from Michigan, Nikie Corporation. We are in business been 2 years only. General contractor. Doing right now like a private sector work, bidding on the private companies, jobs, commercial jobs.
Okay.
And we did a couple big jobs. But question is, how do I get into government contracting? What should be my first steps? Like, as new to the
space? Yeah, no, I think so for me, I would research and find out, right, in your area that you want, like the region that you service, right? So you said you're in Michigan?
Yes.
How far out do you want to work? Just in the state of Michigan?
Yeah, like sometimes it's upper, like up north is kind of near far. It's like 4 or 5 hours. So right now I wanna stay. I would say no, within an hour or so too. Like Detroit City is kind of close to me, very half hour away.
Okay.
So I know there is some like a army base over here.
Okay.
I do see a lot of on SAM. I do have a profile set up, sam.gov also set up. I'm in the process of getting woman-owned certification. Working with a local PTech. But somehow I'm just having a hard time getting applying again because they were rejected once.
You were rejected.
So how do I go ahead?
You were
rejected. It was rejected because I think
what was rejected?
My certification application.
Oh, for women owned?
Yeah.
But that's not stopping you from bidding.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't stop you. That doesn't. You don't need any certification. You should. If you watch me, you don't need certifications to bid. So that's not stopping you.
Right. It's not. And then my concern is I would like to get some more maybe training or something how to put it together a proposal, not for big job but small. I want to start with. I just want to get my feet wet and see where do I stand.
No, I get it. So what I would do if I were you and I want to get my feet wet, I would look and see any upcoming projects, and I would go to the site visits, and I would attend, and I would give all the major contractors my business card.
Okay.
And all the contractors out there are looking for generals who can perform the work. And so if you have an area that you specialize in, then I would tell them, hey, we're really good at this, we're really good at that. And so that's what I would do. That's the first thing to start. Forget about their certification, because really, we hire companies. I have never hired a company because of certification. Never.
Right.
Never.
Okay.
Because we're small business, so we don't need a certification, right? Because if I'm a small business, you're a small business, doesn't matter.
It was right. And I was under impression that certification will help me get a little bit boost.
Everyone believes that, and they will help everyone. That's like the traditional, like what they push us to do, right? But if you look at it, the government is meeting their goals without advertising all these certification projects. So what does that mean? So they advertise projects full and open or small business, and then they somehow meet their goals because they take credit for you having a certification, not because they solicited as a women-owned certified project. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So like
Yes.
we look at stuff coming out all the time, and maybe less than 5 projects a week are coming out as women-owned business. So how do they meet their goals? Well, because all these women went out and got certified, and then when they get the contracts, they get credit for your certification, not because they advertised it or solicited as such. So it's not helping you to win. It's helping you to help the government meet their goal, but it's not helping
It's
you
not
win.
helping me. Okay.
So now,
And
and the
then,
bigger projects with major primes, yes, they like your certification. So if you're working with a major contractor that needs to meet a goal, but he's still going to qualify you first and then take credit for your cert after.
okay.
That's
So definitely, will look out to those site visits and stuff and go
Yeah, I
from
would go
there.
to a site visit. Honestly, the first thing I would do, go to a site visit, make a relationship with the primes, give them your cards, tell them what you're good at, and then follow up. Most people don't follow up. So most people, like I said, when we meet you at the site visits and we see you come 1, 2, 3 times, we're gonna assume you're a government contractor. I don't care if you never did a project. We don't know
Okay.
the difference.
Okay.
So we're gonna
Definitely.
assume because we see you coming to the site
Coming
visits,
over
it's
and
the
over.
same people. I'm
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
you, it's the same people. So we're like, oh,
So you,
everyone that comes are government contractors. Even if you're like, I never did a government contract, but we're not gonna assume that and we're not
mhm.
gonna care because most of the people that we hire have never done government contracts because I'm responsible for it. Like you said, I'm the prime, so I'm not choosing you because of your government contracting prowess.
Mhm.
I'm
Do
choosing
you?
you because you are like, hey, you've got really
I'm
good
here.
electrical engineers. Yeah, you're right. You have really good. Hey, I've already got these electrical. I got this demo crew, Eric. Man, I'm telling you, they demoed this whole building. Like 22 guys showed up and they demoed it in 3 days. I'm like, what? Let's go.
That,
You
okay.
understand? That's the kind of stuff.
Okay. So, I'm following you lately, lately last year or so. I do miss a lot of your, podcasts. But when you started your journey, did
Right.
you like started as a sub and then
I
get
did.
into Prime?
I did. I started as a sub. I started actually as a consultant because um, I needed money. So I didn't have money to do my own projects. So I
Mm-hmm.
helped other people win contracts, and then I managed them for like fee for service. And
Mm-hmm.
then, but one thing I learned, and this is what I teach people, is because I help other people win contracts, I own the relationships.
Right. Yes.
That's something that people they undervalue, right? So when you look at people, like again, I follow all these folks that like this big Wall Street guy, David Tapper. He used to work at Goldman Sachs, and they didn't promote him, but he still had all the relationships from Goldman. So when he went and started his own firm, he raised like $50 million, right? Because he knew all the people, and so that's what you see, right? When you come out industry, same thing. I was already building the relationships that led to me to get those future contracts. So that's how I started. And then once I had those relationships with people, then when I decided to open up my own business and just make the decision, my first contract was like 1 million, 1.8 million.
So when you land on the contract, did you had a crew already that was working for you, or you got a
So,
contract? You got a,
so I did not have a crew. And these are excellent questions, by the way. I love your questions. I did not have a crew, right, that was working for me. What I did was the person that was helping me put together the estimate and the bid. He was a senior person, right? This guy was already like in his 60s, and so he had done this for a long time. Yeah, like Michael said, hit the like button. By the way, everyone watching.
yeah.
And so he he's the one that helped me, that assured me, like, Eric, if you get this project, we'll help you mobilize, get the team together, and everyone to be able to execute. The biggest challenge I had was not the crew. The biggest challenge I had was making sure I got the finance to cover
Mm-hmm.
the cost of materials because it was a
Exactly.
metal building, and the building it cost me like $800,000, and I didn't have $800,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to get the financing on 30-day net 30 terms for the building. So that was my biggest obstacle, was getting the financing first, not the crew. The crews were people, you know, I hate to say people are a dime a dozen because it's not true, but what I found in construction is whenever I did anything, like say flooring or stucco or drywall, people that are in that industry know other people in that same space. They know other. So whenever I used to do EFIS. You ever heard EFIS? Exterior insulated systems. I forgot what the F stand for, but it's like the foam boards that they stucco it on after. They do it at Disney World when they build those.
Okay. Yeah.
And so when we did that, like once we found one guy that did EFIS, he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got a whole." They know people. Yeah, he could bring 10 more people. And so that's what I found in construction that made it a lot easier. Was that, I used to do Fisher Island. I used to do all their exterior stucco at Fisher Island, and my guy was like, "Yeah, I got 10 more stucco guys. I got 20 more stucco guys. If you can pay them, I could bring them."
And was it in state or out of state?
Most people are in state.
Okay, so you do.
They were working at other companies. They weren't necessarily getting treated fairly. They weren't necessarily getting paid. A lot of my people were also foreigners, so they weren't necessarily being treated equitably.
Right. Agree.
Well, no surprise, right?
Yeah. I do work with a lot of team I have is like from Mexico, so and they great on the work on the labor side, so nobody can do hard work as much as they do.
Right. So yeah, and like I said, we had foreigners. So honestly, what I found, and again, because I'm from Miami, we have different groups of people that do specialize in different tasks. So the stucco guys were all Dominican. My flooring guys were Honduran. And then, so we had for every different job, a different sense.
Right.
And they all apprenticed under each other.
They all specialize in their own work.
They specialize in their own different disciplines.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a crew that, I do commercial jobs, but I really want to, go into the government side and see where I stand. So,
well, when we open back up the course in April, you can join in. We'll talk about proposal writing and things like that when we open back up in April.
Okay, we'll definitely will look into that.
We're now onboarding all the new students right now, so that'll go through March, and then April we'll open it back up for new enrollment.
So do you think those training is what I will be able to put in the proposal, or
I have all my sample proposals inside of the trainings.
Okay.
So all the proposals I use to win contracts are inside. And yes, I definitely believe you can do it, especially now with ChatGPT and the AI apps. You can definitely do the proposals, 100%. You can take my whole thing, copy it, and put it inside an app, and it changes all the words, and it's yours.
Okay. Well, definitely we'll look into that and connect with the.
Thank you for coming on. I loved all your questions.
All right. Thank you so much. Talk to you later. Thank you.
Someone in the chat said you should connect with him. Someone in the group. So
sure.
When you drop back down to the audience, take a look at it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Danny.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you, man?
All right. No, that was interesting. A lot of good questions. By both Stephanie and Ms. Patel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she was hitting me up with all the good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. My wife it's listed in right next to me.
Okay.
She's watching on her, and again, we've been in business since 2018, and and we started our we got our CDLs and started transportation, and we did 2 years with Custom Critical, FedEx Custom Critical, doing CDC, DOD, and stuff like that. And over the last 2 years, we've been doing it on our own. And man, for the last 2 or 3 months, I just been listening to a lot of information that you're putting out there.
Okay.
And our mentality was prior to family owned and operated, because there's 3 drivers in this house. It's my wife, our 23-year-old, and us, and we're teams. So we do expediting, and we did a lot of government stuff. But there was one thing that you mentioned about that a lot of us, and it's true what you're saying, about us worry about running the business, like actually doing the work. So now there's no time to study and get better at expanding and things like that.
Right.
So even, like I would say over the last 4 years, we made almost $1 million. We generated, not that we kept or anything, we generated. So, and so you feel like you've accomplished things, you've done things, but then we wanted to have the DoD clearances and the things for our company. And when I started doing research on YouTube, you came up, and it opened my eyes to a whole another world. Like, holy, I thought, this was what we wanted. And then this whole new window opened up for us. And I feel like a rookie again, but I'm excited. We are excited because we're learning again, so we did, what was it, about 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, we got our cage code, we're registering SAMs and everything. Yesterday, my wife, when you said, Wednesday, I'm going to be checking SBA profiles, she's like, oh, I feel like I'm back in school. And
hey, I promise you, listen, I was going to check SBA profiles tonight, right? And then the SBA website was down. So I was like, all right, I can't check their profile. Because that site has been so screwed up, man. Like,
we were so nervous. I mean, we still, it's not like we were able to go in there and cheat, because it's like we haven't even been able to go and see our own profile. Like we just, because you have to go through all the pages through SAM.
Yeah, at least you know that, though.
My goodness.
At least you know that. That means it says a lot about you.
Well, we started doing it, and we're like, how the hell do we do this? Even, and my wife was like, you sure we're going to erase some things? I'm like, nah, the video says that you got to go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And at least we added the NAC code, the NIA code.
You see, listen, I got you to fix your profile.
Right. Something. We're still, oh my goodness, the competency, core competencies. We still got to add a lot of the stuff.
Keywords. Don't forget your keywords.
Got you.
Okay.
I'm going back to a live that you did with YC Lawson.
Yeah.
It was, so we're trying to look for her stuff
I beat her
to
up.
learn from, learn from what the things that she did, and Demetrius and
Chris.
the other gentleman that they both do, Chris. Yeah. So again, we're kind of preparing for April, because we're looking forward to joining the group, and all of us being involved and doing it. And it's more like, because right now we're a functioning company on the commercial side.
Sure.
So we're trying to prepare ourselves now the best way we can when it comes to information, like, gather everything in place.
Yep.
And then we could go after it like rhinos. Like that's our, I see that you have the rhinos update, and our YouTube channel, our thing is the rhino mentality.
Really? Have you read the book?
Yes.
You read the Rhinos book?
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, for everyone that doesn't know, let me go pull it up now.
Yes.
Because I don't think everyone knows about the Rhinos book. Hold on.
Rhinoceros Hunting for Success.
What is it called? What is it? Rhinos.
Rhinoceros Hunting for Success, or
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yep.
Is that the name of it?
Yes, it's Rhinoceros Hunting for Success.
I don't see it.
Can you? I know you have it on your books that you recommend.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I'm trying to find it.
Right. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Because I read it in Spanish when I first got to the country in '94, and then I read it. Then I read it in English again, because when I first came, at that time people were doing Amway and stuff like that, and I was just a young go-getter, and they gave me this book, and I fell in love with it.
There it is. All right, I have it here. All right, for everyone here, Rhinoceros Success. There it is.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if you've never read this book, check it out. I mean, it's a short read, but it's I love it, by the way. Yeah. It's a great read out there.
To create create a great attitude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, it's a good read. And then, I mean, it's like, again, timeless wisdom, right?
Correct.
Yeah, timeless wisdom for folks.
Correct.
You know, one of the things that I say, Danny, and you're right, and I'm glad we're on the subject, is, and I literally, I was, I don't want to say coaching, but I was, essentially, I was meeting with a CEO today that built up two very successful real estate companies, and she still, after building up like these hugely successful real estate companies, still felt imposter syndrome, and still had self doubt, and still had the belief like she wanted to be humble, and so I believe that all that stuff is like programmed in us through like school and the media and all this stuff, right? And that's what's really standing in our way. And it's really controlling us and causing all that self-doubt in our mind. And I really believe that that's where all of us that's watching me and the people on this call, that's the challenges that we're having. Because are you telling me that when you watch the TV that there's a shortage of money? Like there's no one going to tell me that when they watch the news and they watch these stimulus packages and these plans, that's $2 trillion for. There's no way you're going to tell me there's a shortage of money. When we're looking at the Rhino's bid alert, like you said, and like you're on my Monday call, and there was 700 solicitations in the last 5 days. You can't tell me there's a shortage of opportunity and money and stuff out there. I just finished a call today where the guy said he's going to max out our $100 million in bonding. He said he's going to blow through. So that was a call I was on today. You know, how many other people are on calls like that? So I'm just saying, like this, you know, for me, and I'm going to bring Daniel Burgess up here since I see him in the background. I'll just bring him up to the stage. You don't have to talk. You can stay on mute. I'm just going to bring you on stage just because you're sitting back in the background. So really, what I recognize is there's no shortage of money. There's no shortage of opportunities. And there's no shortage of people wanting to help us and work with us. So really, it's just, like you said, it's more up here. And it's our limiting belief systems. You know, even Stephanie, she had some good questions, but when the people asked her, was she on the schedule, she assumed that she couldn't get contracts if she was on the schedule. They didn't say that.
It's your, again,
you're putting up roadblocks, and I know, and I think we all,
and we do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves.
You know, Tony Casada just said there was a source of thought for a trucking a few weeks ago. We could have teamed up on it. You know, I'm telling the people in my group, team up on this stuff. Like to me, all of you truckers should be teaming up and looking at these things collectively.
Typically, and there's something that we talked about before, in trucking, a lot of backstabbing exists.
I agree.
That don't need to be there. Whether in public or in the private sector or here, because it's plenty for everybody. It's plenty for everybody, but here more than any other places, I see that I could.
Okay, at least for me, if you're in my groups, right, I'm telling trucking people get together. I don't care what y'all do outside of federal, but on the federal, you guys have to get together. So, by the way, Tony Casada, I actually have one of my students. She's going to be speaking Friday for our 30-day challenge. And so she's already registered for FEMA. And so FEMA's contract is going to start rolling in April. And so she's going to be connecting all the trucking people together. She already done all the research. And she's going to be looking to partner with people in our group. So that's just for you, Tony, on that. But
hey, looking forward to, I know Tony's been very active, reaching out. I want to do the same thing. Like I said, we have our own, our own channel. It's bilingual, but mainly Spanish. And last year, an opportunity presented from a work that I did in 2021, where this big broker from Nationwide called me literally like within 2 weeks. Hey man, I need 17 teams. I got 10 teams at $12,000 each. He called me. He goes, "Hey man, you need to slow down. Let me put a couple of them on the balcony because you kind of spend." And I deliver that, and that was for a one-shot deal, right? And it ended up work. We ended up working from May all the way up to August.
Mhm.
I mean, we were out of the market pretty much. You just focus on those things. You drove where you were driving, and then you just sat there. You ate. We did. It was Coldplay. It was for Coldplay that we were doing. We were going touring the nation, and we ate where they ate. We shower where they shower, and we got treated. So I know some people question me like, man, why are you sharing your contact? I'm like, nah, man, the broker needed me. I took care of him. I don't care if somebody, and you know what he did? A couple of people reached out to him, try to cut me off the
Yeah,
deal.
yeah,
And he called me. He goes, "Hey, how do you know this guy?" I'm like, "A little bit, not much." He goes, "Well, just to let you know, he tried to get to me without
yeah,
not
yeah,
going
yeah,
through you.
yeah.
And if he knows you and he did that to you, what do you think he's going to do to me? So just to
Good.
let you know, he's
Right.
done. For the next move, that person is done. This person is done. So I've never been afraid of sharing because at the end of the day, if Tony calls me and say, "Hey, Danny, I need help. I need to get, 3 trucks, 5 trucks, whatever it is. Let's take care of Tony today because I know Tony will be there for me later on when I need him.
Right.
I could make
Right.
that
Right.
that same phone call. So I've never been afraid of sharing our channel. We haven't done videos in a while because I just got a little, I got a little turned off. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a teaching channel. It's been a
Okay.
teaching. We used to do a live show every
Okay.
day in the morning. I mean, it was crazy from 5 a.m. to like 11 a.m. every day. My wife and I. It was
What are we talking
insane.
about?
It was first. It started, to keep people because that's the toughest time to drive around 5 a.m. That's when
Okay.
most of the accidents happen. So it started to keep people up, like
Aware.
teaching them the business, and
Okay.
then it morphed into helping the new drivers coming in how to come in instead of wanting to own a truck right away. No, learn the business. Go to a big company,
Okay.
learn the business, learn on a brand new truck, learn with a professional trainer.
Right.
And so we started teaching the new ones to do that, and then the owner operators how to to find out what the cost of operation is. How much does it cost for you to move your truck? Where to place your truck and things like that. And so we started doing a lot of that, and I mean I left the channel, all the videos there because you could go from zero, from not having your license, to how do you do your research to study for your license, to get a school, which company to start, so on and so forth, how to
All right.
buy a truck, how to open your authority, like everything, like from
Okay.
zero to owning your authority to being
Nice. In
independent.
Spanish.
So, and it's all there. It's what I did was I did a like a 3 months thing where we were doing every Monday, every day we were doing a different topic from
Okay.
zero all the way. But I do have a lot of English videos
Okay.
there that teaches the same stuff.
Well, maybe when we meet up in April and you circle around,
Hmm.
we can. I've got some ideas of what you can do with that content as well.
Okay.
I know some people out there. The United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and that,
Okay.
that might be some good content for them to share with their group.
Okay.
So, but no, man, listen,
I
I
mean, I appreciate. I mean, really, my wife and I, the Mr. Coach is because of my kids. Because I was a high school coach, and they were going to college away. I did the YouTube channel, so I was going away in trucking, and they named me Mr. Coach. So
nice.
that's why the Mr. Coach is because I coach. I was an iron worker in the morning, a union iron worker in New York,
Oh,
and a
wow.
volunteer high school coach in Queens, New York.
You kept busy.
Yeah, for 20 something years we did that. So we're teachers, we're coaches and teachers
Right,
at
yeah,
heart. So
yeah.
it's just a matter of now finding something else to level up. And Miss Fifi Soy Joe, that's my wife. That's my
Okay.
wife. She's
All
on
right.
the comments. She actually put in the title
Oh,
of
she's
the
the one that
of
put
the
in the
book.
book. All right, gotcha. Okay. All right,
Yeah,
perfect. All right.
yeah. But no,
All
but
right.
like I said, thank you, for all the information that you put out there. I just wanna, the best we can, um, give me 1 second. I try to read some. I want the best we can to set up or prep ourselves for April. Because again, I want to be well informed. I'm not looking for certifications or anything like that. I understand now how, we don't need to waste time on that. But I know how we are when it comes to running our company.
Yeah.
I want to have everything that we're done be put on the profile to say in case somebody's looking,
Right.
and then to know the lingo, the terms.
That's all you need.
Because we want to sound like we know what we're talking, like we know what we're doing.
That's gonna make a difference.
So we're gonna keep listening and participating and look forward to being on the program. We like I said, we have the asset base,
Yep.
but we're also gonna do what Demetrius and Chris do.
Okay.
The logistic part. So we could be
and we'll connect you with them right away. So
awesome.
All right.
Awesome. I got somebody else listening there. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it. All right, Danny. All right, man.
Daniel Burgess, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for your patience, by the way.
No problem. I got a major echo. I don't know if it's me or you.
You got an echo?
Yeah.
I haven't had echo for anyone recently. So, no, I haven't had it recently.
Okay. Maybe I don't know if it's my side or not, but anyway.
Okay.
I'll try to tune it out while I'm talking to you. So
no worries.
I was listening to the session you did back a couple of weeks ago when Maria was talking about she went on. You talked about Maria going on site to talk with I don't know which branch of the military it was, but she went on site for a meeting. What now, was that something that she just decided to go, or is it something that she found and she saw some kind of need, or what? How did she end up on site?
She just looked at a project where they were requesting site visits, and then she went and showed up. She signed up for the list and went. Anyone can do it.
Okay.
That's the same strategy recommended to Ms. Patel.
Okay.
I recommend to anyone out here, like, if you, instead of waiting for a conference or an event, just sign up for a site visit and go visit and talk to the contractors.
Okay. So, because I've got, here in Tennessee in Clarksville, we've got, a base over there, and then we've also got stuff in Huntsville, Alabama, and all those places. I guess the real question is how do you request getting on site? Do you have to have a reason to go, or?
Technically, they're going to have projects where they have site visits, and so you use that as a reason to go on site.
Okay. And
so just look on SAM and find a project with a site visit, and then you put your name on the list.
Okay, gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah.
One last question.
Okay.
You focus a lot on the sources sought, and I understand the validity of that now and how important that is. Would you say that as we're, for the newbies, which I'm one of those, would you recommend that that's where we spend our time as opposed to trying to look at contracts to bid on, just stay in the sources sought area?
Well, the thing is, Daniel, I never have to tell people to bid on contracts. They do that on their own.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell people, hey, go bid contracts. They're going to do that regardless of what I say.
Yeah.
So my job is to educate them on other things that they're not doing. Does that make sense? I don't have to tell anybody to go bid. Hey, here's how to bid on SAM. But I don't have to tell people that. They do it anyways, no matter what I say.
Yeah.
So my job is to provide you with alternative solutions, things that you've not looked at or considered, and ways that we leverage to actually get sole source and set aside contracts. bidding doesn't do that, because once the RFP is out, you can't set it aside or sole source it.
Yeah.
So there's no way to get ahead of an opportunity by bidding it. However, you can't win without bidding. So it's not like you can't not bid, but I don't have to tell people to bid. So that's why I don't talk about it, because it's not necessary.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, man, I got to tell you, I really appreciate you doing this, because, you know, a lot of the channels you listen to, being able to meet you face to face and talk in person is a big deal.
Thank you.
And I've been listening to quite a few people that are in the space, and you can't talk to any of them. It's all chat. They don't even have a number where you can reach them. And I appreciate you guys making that number available. It's extremely helpful. So thank you so much.
Oh, are you kidding me? We have, listen, right here. Here's all our information right there. We're not hiding from anybody, brother. We have a help desk. We have Friday help desk. We have Tuesday night calls for our students. We've got a resource specialist for our students. So we've got a private Facebook group. We've got, you know, another private group that's off Facebook, that's in a chat and an app. So I'm doing a 30-day challenge. I personally hosted myself. So, you know, we really want to see people succeed. Other people are using this as a way to make money and profits, right? They're profiteering. So, which again, I mean, I don't knock anybody, because at the same time, if they are helping to teach this and you resonate with them, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not, you know, I don't want to take away from anybody's pocket. So, you know, anybody, like before I came on scene, people were not teaching this publicly. So if I, like Elon Musk said, if he made the whole industry step up and become good electric cars because of, you know, Tesla, and if I made people step up and start teaching this free publicly because of me, I did my job, because they weren't doing it before. They were not doing it. So when I started, there wasn't 10 people teaching government contracts online. So if I forced the industry to be better, to give you guys more content, to bring it to the world for free, rather than put it in this black box and say, pay me, I did my job.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. You know, does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, I'm going to be leaving the teaching arena soon anyway, so they can have it. You know, so I'll leave all the teaching to them. They can have it. They can put in the long hours, you know, put in the hard work. Look, it's 9 o'clock at night. I have a 7 a.m. podcast in the morning, and I'm still up here with you guys. So, you know, but no, man, Daniel, hey, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate I appreciate you commenting and coming up today. And by the way, I appreciate if everybody hit the like button if you haven't already done it. So, thank you, my man. Daniel, I'm gonna
take care.
I'm gonna get some rest. Ronnie, the man, the myth, the legend.
Well, hey, I just wanted to say thank you. I think one of the things that was going on from Daniel, we're just leaving off, and then in regards to not only what you teach, but for those who want to go on the consulting side like me, one thing I will tell you, come with some value, because Eric is not going to waste time with folks who are not going to give the client and him and those who are helping provide that value. And brother, I want to say thank you again, because you know the struggles that I've been going through, but the encouragement between you and Randy and the team to say, hey, just keep on going through it. This too shall pass. So I just wanted to, you know, I'm still on the backside of that, working on this West Coast deal, and I'll see you hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully see you next on the 15th, right?
On the 15th, yes, sir.
Yes. So I'm gonna come on up from SAC and try to make my way there.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, Ronnie.
All right. Good night, brother. I know it's the East Coast on you. Yes, sir.
All right. Yes. My prayers for you and your family. All right. One last person, and we're wrapping this thing up. All right. Unicuspilus. Yes. People charge to get certified, and like I said, you don't need that in order to get bids. So, all right. Well, listen. Since this other person is not on there, thank you, Joey T, as always. Venture capitalist is coming around. Yes. Hey, I'm happy I showed up tonight. You know, I was debating coming on. Turned out to be a great session. I always find out I have my best sessions when I like tossed my hands up on coming on. So, hey, look, we'll do another Q&A soon, and we'll bring some more people up here, and hope to continue, spreading the message of government contracting, and letting people know what all opportunities exist out there. Because, like I said, once you know better, you can do better. So I want to make sure that everyone knows that this exists, so that you have no more excuses for why you can't go to the next level in whatever it is you want to do, your field, your career, your success, and your business. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.